What's up, guys? Welcome back. Another day on the Fiero build. Okay, got everything cut off this vehicle as much as I could last time. And now we're working on the tube. See? Got the hoop, working on the hoop in there. So, I wasn't going to pick up this and record just because it takes a lot of thought process and stuff like that. And it's hard to think about picking up the camera and recording and all this kind of stuff. But you guys are probably going to want to see this part. This is a really cool, fun part to do. I'm climbing inside the car. Look, it's like standing inside the car. It's convertible. That's so cool. Once again, I have these, which are templates. So I made a few templates. I made one in like 25-degree bend, 45-degree bend, and 65-degree bend. Because technically for most cars, this bend here is typically about a 65-degree bend, which is what this one is. And then the one down there is about a 25-degree bend, which creates 90. 90 is from this plane to that plane. So you have to get to 90. So, you know, and then you alter from there and there. So like this bend right here right now is more like a 55-degree bend. So a little less, a little more on some cars. What I'm trying to figure out right now is I got this tube bent and it's just kind of sitting there, right? I just set it there, measured it out. What I do is I take these and I put them up against here. It kind of gives me my angle and I draw where the mark is, and that's the front side. And I know from the front of this to the beginning of this bend is 4 inches. That's kind of how your bender works. You have to know your bender and know how many inches it is before your bend. But if you make these templates, it's a lot easier. You simply just stick this thing up there, match up the bend of where you think you want, mark the front of it. Then what I did, found center, mark center on your tube right here. There's a center line, and measure out to the front of that template, which was 15 inches in this case. And then out from there is 15 inches of this, and that's the bend going outwards. So then you transfer that into the bender and you bend it, and look, success. It matches the roof line. Now comes the other hard part. Now we got to figure out that next bend right there, okay? Because this chassis is a little different, because I'm doing this a little different, that bends, since it's a 55-degree bend, that bend's going to be a little bit more. It's going to be like 35 to 40 degrees. And the reason I might overbend it a little bit to get it inside the chassis, since I'm kind of going to sandwich it into the body. You'll have to see. Like I said, a lot of thought process in this. I don't typically pick up the camera when I do this, but I know you guys want to see this part. So I'll bring you back after I figure that out, and I'll tell you what I did, and I'll show you how it fits. And hopefully I don't mess this up and I get it in one try. A lot of trial and error in this kind of stuff, but so far I'm liking it. This is matching the roof line that I left, which was great that I left that. And as long as I match it down there and get it into the body, that'll be great. Once this is tacked in place and this is in the chassis, build everything off the hoop. The hoop is the hardest part, right? That's the hardest part. So I'm going to put the camera down. I'm going to get back to work. I'm going to get this figured out, and then I'll come back to you guys and let you know. What's up, guys? Back in the shop once again. All right, I am in cutting mode, I should say, again. Jeez, I thought we were done cutting, but I guess not. So let me give you a little update on what we did. So the hoop's in. Cool. That was a pain. That took all day yesterday. But it's in. It's looking great. And then now that the hoop is in, it's tacked in place. It's not going anywhere. It's at the correct height of the roof section that we left in. So now that that's in, I went ahead and got rid of the rest of the roof. Don't need it anymore. So now this section can match off this section, and then this goes forward. So what I'm working on right now is the A-pillar bars. I have racked my brains all night and all morning about this, and it came down to something that I was kind of 50-50 on, and it ended up being the only way to do it. So I'll take you over to the other side and show you the problem. So here's the problem. So this is the pillar piece that I left, right? And we're replacing from here on out. Well, I can't butt weld this to this. That's just not strong enough. And what we're trying to do here, see if I can get you over to see this. So what we're trying to do here is actually be at this location, which is the old roof section, to line up with the glass and all that other stuff, right? So the body panel will fit back on. Here's the issue. Can't do that. So I tried to go inside, and look how far away it is. So somehow I have to bridge this gap. And then, of course, you have the inner structure and all this kind of stuff. That's just not going to work. So I fought with that for about 30 minutes to an hour this morning, just test fitting, seeing different pieces, stuff like that. What I have come up with is something that was in my head ever since I started the build, but I was like, no, that's not technically how you do a cage and this and that. But there are ways around it to make it structural. And, you know, in my head, it's always about FIA spec, race spec, what's out there in the world, what's been done before and stuff like this. And I want to build something that I'm not limited to anything. I want to be able to take this thing on the track if I want to. And I don't want any kind of inspection team to go, we're not sure about that because we've never seen it. Just because you've never seen it doesn't mean it's not structurally strong. But they're paid to do what they do and stuff like that. So here's the issue. So yesterday kind of determined all this for me. So if you look closely, see the roof bar? See the bend in the roof bar? Right? Right there? That's not FIA. That's not regulation. That's not anything like this. However, it's the only way I could do this hoop, okay? And like I said before, if you get an impact this way, which would be the car rolling over, hitting, or slamming, or tumbling, if you get an impact this way, that's the weak point right there. That's where the cage can go, you know, as it crushes down onto your head. Unless you do certain things to strengthen that, right? If I put the door bar and I start it right there in that bend and I come forward and connect it to the other straight down bar here, right? That's gonna help limit that bar to go outwards because it's got something holding it structurally in, right? Then if I come onto the back side of that bar back here and I come back with another brace, triangulate it up to the other bar back here, then you have something on both sides that keeps the bar from going in and out, right? That's structural, okay? Triangulation, that's all structural. That will keep the cage from collapsing on itself. That's what I'm gonna do here. I have no choice. That's what I have to do here. So that's what we got. And if it causes a problem later down the road, then I'll just have to deal with it. But I gotta make it as structural as possible and as strong as possible within all the rules that have been done before out there, but it's got to fit the chassis. It's got to work with the chassis. This is just the only way. So we do what we do. So that brings me to today's dilemma, fix, alteration, whatever you want to call it. Basically, all right, look what I've done here. So I've done cut all of this trough system out, right? So like on the other side, I got that boxed in. I had to cut all of that away, right? The reason I did that is because that allows now the tube, instead of me sitting on the outside, that allows the tube to actually French in, right? Meet right where the glass is, and then actually come down into the body. Look at that. Look how cool that looks, okay? Now, why did I do this? Let's see if I get this to stay there. It's kind of crude, but it's there. So I did that because then I was trying to figure out how to get the tubes up the front, right? And how to connect all of it together. This is the way. I found the way. So now we got this channel here, right? Look, this piece of tube fits right in, bam, butts right up against that cage system. So what I'll do is I'll cut that accordingly and I'll make them fit perfectly together. And I'll either sleeve them or I could do a bracket on the outside that makes them structural. Either way, I'll figure it out and I'll make them structural there. But that literally, if you look, how amazing is that? Let me get you up here. The sun's blowing you out. Oh, there you go. There you go. Look at that. That brings the A-pillar bar into the front, down to the frame. That's going to be cool. Each step, I will bring you back and I will update you on what we're doing. All right, so I'm going to get to it and bring you back for an update and let you see what we got. All right, see you. What's up, guys? I'm back. Okay, it's been one heck of a day. A lot of cool progress happened today. Let me show you the car where it's at right now. Oh my God, I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna take you over here. Whoa! That's awesome! I'm getting blown out by the light. Let me bring you in closer. Holy crap, look at that. That is freaking amazing. It's exactly what I wanted. Oh my God, you can't even get any better than that. Look at the fitment. Look at the fitment. Holy crap. Oh, I'm so excited. So this is the body part put back on over just the tube cage. No chassis, no factory chassis or anything. This is basically replacing the factory roof panel chassis with the tubed cage, and the roof panel fits back on perfectly. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, this is great. So I left a bunch of room. As you can see, I left a bunch of room all the way around. So that way I can attach a Lexan glass or even a glass windshield. And whatever windshield I put in, it will attach to the roll cage, not the body. So the body can continue to come off and on and the windshield stay. If I do put a Lexan windshield in and bolt it all the way around, that's pretty good too, because then I can remove that if I ever wanted to. But then I'll have to put like a little brace in the middle. That's kind of to code inspect and whatever. Anyway, I'm so excited about this. Like, I'm so excited about this. This came out perfect. You can see all the way around the window here. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see all the way around the window. The gap is perfect per what I want it. And then I got a little ahead of myself and stuff, and I even made the second bar. Look at that. That's freaking cool. This will come in a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll put bars here, here, and here all the way across and make a double hoop, kind of like a drag racing car, like Leroy. Like Cletus McFarland's car. So what I did, because again, structural, this, that, all that kind of stuff, I want to make sure that this is not just for looks, but will protect me if I roll this car, take it out on a racetrack, or get in a bad wreck with another car or something. If you're going to build a roll cage, build it right, okay? But also make it look really cool. So what I did just now, I just bent this just like this one. So I had my measurements off this, bent this one, but I didn't go as long. I just cut it off right with the body. But what I did do was, because the bender, I needed an extra 4 inches past this, so that way it would catch the back of the bending die. I was almost about ready to cut it off flush with the body and just tack it straight to the body here. But this is really thin, cheap sheet metal and all. So basically this back tube would just be for looks. No. That's not good enough for me. Especially since this bar, if you remember, we have that bend back there. See that bend right there where it could do this? So why not make this structural as well? Then it doubly doesn't allow this to bend. Double, whatever, you know what I mean. But, so here's what I did. So I drilled a hole with a hole saw, 1.5 inches down into the body. I took my Sawzall and cut the rest out, right? And I did what we call Frenching it in. Look at this. Look at the tube. Yeah, I'm trying not to catch the light. There it is right there. Look at the tube stick out, okay? That's perfect. And the reason that that's perfect is because I can come in here, right? That's part of the frame, that's part of the frame, and this is the part of the frame where I want to bring the tube back. So I can bring the tube straight off of this. That comes back for the back tubular chassis section. Perfect. This is coming out just I'm on the money. Great. I'm so excited. So excited. I've been wanting to do this for so long. Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, so this is here, right? So what I'll do is I'll build a triangle box, right? That welds to this portion of the frame, welds to this portion of the body, and then this sits on it, and then I weld it to that. And then when I cut this piece out, I'll come off of this tube here, back, and then back down to the frame. And however I'm gonna do that. This is working out really cool. So the other thing about this is something I'm really, really trying to do here, because I cut the top of the car off, right? I've never done that before. Most cars, you have a roof, you build the cage, you build these boxes. In order to get to the top welds, you drop the cage, you weld it, you put it back up. I don't have to do that on this car. Why? Because it has no roof. Oh, this is gonna be cool. But what I'm trying to do here, all right, check this out. See how close this is to the body? I love making my cages close. And this is not a very, I can't get my head in there. You just listen to me. This is not a very big car. It's a very small car, right? So this is so close to here. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get a door bar in here and weld the backside. So here's what I'm thinking I can do. This is what I'm gonna try to do to this particular chassis cage, right? I'm gonna get the door bars in here and I'm gonna tack them, right? I'm gonna tack this whole structure in. Then what I'm gonna attempt to do, and I'm engineering and designing it this way, is I'm gonna pull the whole cage up and out of the car. I'm gonna pull it right out the top of the car, right? Then I'm gonna get around and I'm gonna weld every single bit of the cage, right? And I could turn it over and weld it and make the welds beautiful, right? Turn it all around, because it's hard to weld upside down. Flip the cage over, weld it like this, weld it, weld it, weld it. It's gonna be beautiful, right? And then I'm gonna slip the cage back down into the car and weld it into the car. I'm thinking that's gonna be the best way to do this, and I'm really hoping that that works. I'm really excited about it. So let me show you the other stuff that I did real quick. Again, remember that we cut these slots in here, right? And we're gonna French the tube in, and look at the tube right here. So this tube comes down here, right? Goes under the body and ends right here. And then what I'm gonna do, there we are. I'll stick it here and I'll go all the way up. Boom. Tie in right into that A-pillar bar with the front tubular section. This has just been so amazing. It's been so crazy. I love it when all this kind of stuff comes together on the fly like this. This is kind of my passion, building things from scratch and making them work and making them strong and structural so they look nice, they're strong, they perform. That's the kind of stuff I love to do, right? Because it has to protect you and it has to look cool. Remember, film, movie cars, stuff like that, they have to look good for film, but they also have to protect us as stunt drivers, and or if an actor drives it or something like that. It's got to be functional and it's got to work and it's got to look good. So that's where we're at. Anyway, I'm going to leave you off here. This has been amazing. The next thing I'll probably show you guys is I got to put some more bracing and stuff like that, and then I'm going to take the roof panel back off and I'll show you the whole structural cage without the roof panel. Looks really cool. We'll come back and we'll do that. But I'm just so excited. This is just coming out really, really cool. I'm glad I did this build. It's been so long. I've been wanting to do this. So, all right, I'm gonna leave you there and catch you back next time. Thanks, guys.